Well, we should be live. We should actually be multicasting tonight, both live to Twitch and live to YouTube at the same time, which should be a lot of fun. We'll see how this works. Unfortunately, we're down 2 players tonight. The scout, I was about to say the best scout, but that would be the dog. Scout has moved recently, has rural internet right now, and it's not doing so well. And Gantu had a wedding he had to go to. So, yeah. We see how important the gaming actually is. But there's 3 of us here tonight, or at least 3 players. So we will get started on the plot thread anyway, because, there's going to be a lot of talky to get it all off the ground. So tonight, Shadowrun. It's been a year since the advent of our last adventure, Bug City, and the nukes dropping. Still working for Gantu at the bowling alley. Nick's new character, he's been around for several months now, so you guys have gotten to know each other, but things have been a little slow until we pick up today. But let's hear about our characters. Chuck, who you playing?
Oh my gosh, that's me. I'm Ivan, our spellcaster. And I can for sure cast more than 3 spells. It's fantastic. I'm also the proud owner of the best scout and the best ex-cop. 2 wonderful dogs.
Good. And Jake, who you got?
Well, I'll be playing Kaylee, who is a ghoulism-stricken elf, who's a fan of decking and portraying a digital rocker girl named Kay Lava.
Doing really well on the charts. And Nick is joining us now in our Shadowrun game.
Indeed I am. I am playing Masu, who is a human, very much human, shaman, who does mostly mentalist stuff, if my dragons let me.
Okay. So, as I said, it's been a year since the nukes went off on Bug City, and you guys have had a fairly quiet yet rather rich life after the payouts of the last few runs. And things have been a little quiet, probably a little boring as well. The most interesting thing that's going on is a couple months ago, the great dragon Dunkelzahn was awarded citizenship into the UCAS. The UCAS is the United Canadian American States. With all the things that have happened in the Shadowrun universe, Canada and large portions of the United States have kind of merged into one government body. So, yeah, it was by an act of Congress, produced a whole 15 minutes of media buzz. It was all over the networks for exactly 15 minutes before it got drowned out by the results from the most current urban brawl, games going on. So it got drowned out. No big deal. But what has been a buzz in the last week is that the Great Drake has put in his bid as a runner for the next president of the UCAS. Since the laws had to be changed when large swaths of Canada became merged with parts of the United States, he can indeed, though not being born in the United States, become president once he had gotten citizenship, which is an interesting thing because your current president and vice president were just impeached and drummed out of office. And this is like yet another circumstance where Shadowrun foresaw stuff. Like I don't know what you want to call it, but it is interesting. If you look at the module that this is based on, not my players, don't look at the module.
Oh.
The module Super Tuesday opens with the current president and vice president being impeached over massive voter fraud caused by mail-in voting.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
like no joke. That's that's the plot. That is the plot. And so the Speaker of the House, Betty Jo Pritchard, steps in as the role of president after they've been ousted. And so she is holding the fort until the next 2057 elections can be ran. And the new president can be crowned, I guess you want to call it that. She has no intentions of running. She's just holding things together until this can happen. So there is a lot of animosity towards the government right now. When people found out how badly things had been rigged and what they had been selling off of UCAS property to international interests, people are really not so happy about things. Put into this mix, a dragon has announced his candidacy for president as well. So that's what's going on in the news feeds right now. And go ahead.
Oh no, Masu is very glad he is not a citizen of these absolutely screwed United American and Canadian states.
Yeah.
Well, I know my next album's going to be heavily anti-government. Going to
Yeah.
make a lot of money.
So the other possible candidates are Arthur Vogel, a dwarf from Ontario, and his running mate Gary Gray, a troll, and they're running on. They are running on an Earth First campaign, a get back to nature, refresh and rebuild the planet sort of campaign. Dr. Rosalind Hernandez and Ramsey McCullen are very much on a technology campaign where, increased technology and increased sciences will make a better life for everyone. James Booth and Brandon Ikamatsu are basically your moderate candidates, doing a let's stay the course sort of thing.
They are doomed.
General Franklin Yates and Ann Punchy, they are very much for a let's have a strong UCAS, let's fortify those borders, let's have a strong international policy, let's have good trade with our neighbors sort of thing. So he's an expansionist sort of leaner. Then Kenneth Brackhaven and William Auger, which are kind of the populist, I guess. Therefore, like whatever the current popular culture is for, that's what they're for.
Oh,
yes.
And so, what is the new Dragon Lord?
Well, the dragon, actually, since he's just announced his candidacy and he's never been in the political arena before, no one actually knows what his running platform is. He hasn't had a speech yet. There is a speech planned for next week on his cable. Well, it's not a cable channel, but on his network channel called Worm Talk, which he has been a television host of for the last year. But his running mate, he did pronounce, which is Damian Knight, who is the CEO and founder of Knight Errant.
So, what are the chances that they find a picture of him kidnapping a princess and then using that against him? I
don't know. I guess under certain populists, that would be an all four sort of thing.
Yeah,
who knows?
I mean,
Yeah, Yates and Punchy are no longer the expansionist ones. It's like, no, this guy kidnapped their princess. This is this is our guy.
So yes, politics are all over the nets in underground forums. Everyone's talking about this thing, especially with the debacle that just happened. So the ousting of the former president and vice president is only weeks old. Okay, so that's still highly in the news. They're facing charges. Imprisonment is likely. But yeah. So that's what's going on. So let's get the temperature of the characters. Kaylee, for the last year, what have you been doing with the lack of people shooting at you, bombs exploding at you, and generally no one trying to end your life?
I've been using my obscene amount of wealth that I've liberated from hotels and veterinary offices in the now bombed out section of Chicago, and I've been hiring my own Shadowrunners to dig up dirt on the owner of my record label so that I can find a way to release my albums on keychain thumb drives, which I will make 100% of the profit off of.
Oh, which are NFTs too, probably, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So it's got to be
awesome. So Kaylee seems like she's had a pretty engaged social life then. So is Kaylee bored, or is Kaylee having a lot of fun doing what she's doing?
Oh, she's having a blast watching the world of warm-blooded normies tear itself apart. from the comfort of her boiler room.
Very good. Ivan, what's the last year been like for Ivan?
More of the same for the previous year since settling in Chicago. You know, I've got the doggy daycare's probably. I've let that go. I'm not now that I've got 2 dogs and Gantu's got a dog. Like I don't need to create that play area for the best scout. So probably just working in the bowling alley, you know, working in the bowling alley in my brand new designer tracksuits and I don't know, itching for action. Maybe every now and then I'll try and be sly and secret and trick Kaylee into hiring me on as one of her runners.
Yeah,
I'm sure Kaylee
invisibility is a
knows.
good skill to have.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm sure Kaylee knows. Like, God, this is another one of Ivan's really terrible fake accounts. But
and I'm sure some of the work Ivan is doing is so that he can laundry Nguyen into accounts to look like he's earning it instead of it just suddenly appearing for no real reason.
Yeah, Gantu and Morlock, they helped me set that up.
All right. So Masu, who has been doing a lot of wax on, wax off on the bowling alley floors as they're giving you the most demeaning jobs possible to build your character. What's the last year been like?
Oh, I have been somewhat disgruntled by this treatment, as of course one has to obey one's elders, but I don't actually understand the value of indentured servitude for this.
Welcome to the UCAS.
Yes, exactly. I'm a little confused by this. In my off time, I have been either studying some Neo-Confucian philosophical works, trying to get in touch with any of the Confucian institutes that may be around here to establish contacts. And, you know, hey, we're all from back home, and these filthy, I don't know what they call them, Americans, and their filthy ways are obviously screwing up. And then I will have been trying to launch initiatives to clean up our local neighborhood.
Okay.
Some of which are less than legal. Where I have been frightening the living hell out of people with images and so on and so forth.
Of
and
course.
Basically trying to take on any of the local kingpins and being like, meh, I understand you think that you're above the law, but I don't really care about the law, only justice.
All right. Good enough. So this possibly idyllic living abruptly comes to an end for Ivan, as one day his pan flashes an alert that's gotten through all of your safeguards, all of your protections, and dumped a flashing marquee scroll across your screen, and it's from Techno G. It just says "Help" in capital letters, with the background flashing, and a GPS coordinate. Yeah, you haven't heard from Techno G for quite some time since he got riddled with bullets and had most of his lower intestines removed and
still
renewed.
Dead. Oh my gosh. I'll grab the 2 that are available. Masu, Kaylee, we've got an emergency we have to go to right now.
Gantu's out of town, closing on some kind of prospective business deal. You have no idea what it's over, but you are promised new bowling shirts out of it for some reason.
And get behind that.
And Scout is off on his new motorcycle. He said he's going to do a little walkabout. He's just taken off. No idea where he's gone because he's left his virus-infected pan behind. And every 5 minutes, it goes off with a commercial asking to upgrade the memory for only $9.99.
That sounds right.
Oh man, if that's happening, Kaylee's got that dang thing that's just hitting accept.
It's dueling lines. Like the memory graph goes up this way, but then his bank account's going this way. And
That's amazing.
all right, so yeah, Ivan, what do you do? Yeah, it's a protocol that you since your pan systems were last upgraded by Techno-G and you still had it, must have been a backdoor you'd put in. It's the signal's not traceable. It actually just says that it showed up on your phone and it has already always been there as a prior message.
Yeah. Kaylee, get in your fancy chair, Masu. Can you drive? Do you have a license? You there?
Nick, unmute.
Yes, unmute myself. Yes, Masu will gaze deeply into you, to your eyes, and go, no.
It's a long, drawn out no.
No.
I
Long have I dreamed of saying that word to one of you.
I want the time to start. Listen, I can drive, but I don't like to because it's hard to throw fireballs out windows when you're driving. Let's rent us a vehicle since I'm sure Gantu has his van.
Yeah, he's taking his van, of course.
Yeah, let's go rent something cool like a Mazda or a Toyota.
Ooh,
Vintage.
a Suzuki.
Ooh, that's the wheels with the four wheels. That's
All right, so you're going to you pull up your pan, you find a rental place that they'll even drive the vehicle to you. You have plenty of creds to spare, so you just link it up. And 15 minutes, there is a Suzuki streetcar waiting on the outside of your establishment.
This is nice. Let's go.
It's in
No time
red
to wait.
because the red ones go faster.
That is true.
So, Lord Ivan, I have a question.
Yes.
What the hell are we doing?
Oh, yes. I should probably tell you that is emergency. Our old friend, Techno-G, who's a member of this crew, and actually Kaylee was brought on as a replacement. I want you to know, Kaylee, your spot on the team is not under threat, and that you do more of the hacking. He does more of the drone stuff. So I feel like he also does a lot of like mechanical work. So I feel like there's a lot of room for you both to operate and still have your own special place.
In the case of an emergency, do you think it is wise to pet one's feelings?
I mean, I just don't want Kaylee worrying. Kaylee's nice lady.
Yes. So Lady Kaylee's feelings are fragile and she is easily damaged. And so therefore we need to take account of her fragility and the fact that she is, as I believe you Westerners say, a little sissy.
I would not have said that. In the Western, do you not hear this terrible accent that I'm putting on?
Yes.
I'm Russian, you fool. I am.
Yes, that you are Western. You are west of China. So therefore, you are Western.
They didn't cover that in magical school over in
Oh,
Russia.
yes. I can understand where you barbarians do not understand where the Middle Kingdom is. We're in the middle.
It's like, not up, not down, not left, not right. Just right there in the center.
Yes. So, now, follow-on questions. After you have done petting Lady Kaylee, although, perhaps a room would be sufficient for that. Follow-on questions are types of damage, and then what I believe they say is engagement rules.
What do you mean engagement rules? If it's angry, we kill it.
Oh, okay. Murder is allowed.
Yes, murder is allowed.
Not frowned on? Are we going to have to run into, I believe, what they call the pigs?
Everybody looks quickly to make sure the scout didn't suddenly show up.
Listen, I don't
Kaylee,
know
meanwhile,
if
is like, where does Gantu keep the knives in this place?
so it's important for you to learn this that as you know, our profession that we do, it's not just sitting in bowling alley. We are shadow runners,
Oh,
a specific kind of mercenary that operates between legalities of large corporations. Murder is always super cool, but it's part of our job being able to commit it without getting caught.
murder is always super cool.
I gotta tell you, one time a lady, she gave me coffee because she was trying to, get closer to a friend of mine. And she poisoned me in the process. And I was so angry. I incinerated her and her entire art gallery. It was Gucci.
Proportional response is not something that we are striving for.
No.
Kill them and their entire family, clan, and anyone who said hello to them on the street.
Yeah,
But
always
not their
remember.
dogs. You kidnap their dogs.
Yeah,
Oh.
you don't hurt their dogs. Their
Okay.
dogs become our dogs.
Now, if the dog is attacking me,
You let me know, or you hit it on the head and you make it go to sleep, and then we give it lots of dog drugs to make it like us.
Masu will look at his arms that are not rippling in muscles, and in fact have anti-muscles, if that is a feasible thing. It's a excellent strategy, Lord Ivan. So, do we have any? While we're waiting for this car, so we have no idea of the danger. The engagement rules are kill on sight.
No, wait, okay. Let me clarify. We have no idea what kind of danger we're getting into. Knowing techno, it's probably really fucked up and involving a lot of hippie elves with pigs.
Interesting. Your economy with words, Lord Ivan, is one of the things that is most precious in my heart about you.
I'm glad you like.
Do we have any idea of who the friendly looks like and what he might be? So that way, when I go on my murdering spree, I do not include him. Or perhaps
Cheese is a good example.
Techno G is the only one that you should not kill. He's the one we have to save, and I'll pull up a picture of.
No. You pull up the book that he's on. He's on the front
yeah.
cover of.
This is the book that he authored, and here is his face. This is who we are rescuing, and this is who you should not kill. Everyone else, I could give two flying fucks less about.
Oh. Masu will be considering the fact that innocent lives are not valued here. Yes, understood. I thought that you were shadow runners, so shadow being the hidden part of this?
There's many ways to hide things. Many ways.
Having no witnesses is one of them.
No witnesses is my preferred method.
Oh, Lord.
If you ask Gantu, it's more like, let's go in, let's smoosh them, let's get them happy as can be. And then they'll never want to rat on us, or they won't even think about us as being suspect. Gantu's not here. This is the Ivan show now. And we are going to incinerate and murder everyone in the way of us rescuing Techno.
As a query, would Lord Ivan please allow your humble servant, the fledgling Phoenix, to have an opportunity to speak with people prior to the incineration? I find that people oftentimes have words that are trapped in them. And if you liberate the words, you have more knowledge
to exploit.
Yeah. So I've been thinking torture's fine.
I mean, no, I'm thinking as long as they're not shooting at me, I suppose I don't really care. I mean,
even if they are shooting at you, finding out the why will prevent more people from shooting at you in the future. Also, with the exploding of you.
So you're hearing a honk from outside. as your Suzuki streetcar has arrived.
Well,
Let's go. I think you're putting way too much thought into this. You show up, you do the job, you kill anyone who needs to be killed, and then you get paid. I mean, I've been doing this for a long time, and I'm still here.
Laundering money through a bowling alley.
Laundering money through a bowling alley. My best friends is a man who owns a bowling alley and a cleaning company and 2 dogs, and then a lady who eats people.
I will
I've
turn
been
and
trying
gaze
to
at
go to
Kaylee.
synth meat lately.
Oh, speaking of that, yes, in the last year, Kaylee, they have perfected the synth meat that will provide all the nutritional content, but none of the flavor of raw living meat. They have actually come out with many different product lines. Your favorite being strips of flesh, habanero flavored.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's sustaining, but it's not really filling.
All the more reason to wander into a violent situation.
Exactly. So, Ivan, are you taking the wheel behind this fine vehicle painted in a fire engine red? License plate reading "None Yo Business"?
Well, now that I know the license plate number, then yes. Yes.
So, Bert,
Mm-hmm.
as a question, could I potentially use some magic with this guy's name and seek to use my awareness that will allow me to contact the other world to see if there might be some information floating out there in the spirit world about this?
So in Shadowrun, you would literally have to summon a spirit of information.
Mm-hmm.
Is that within your power framework where you can do that? If you want to do it as an awareness power. So in Champions now, the power is the mechanic. How
Mhm.
you dress it is up to you. So you can certainly say that you're finding out information with the awareness power, assuming that you have the ability to do it from extra normal senses. Yes.
Yes, I did. I spent the extra money to buy this in extra normal census, so that way I could peek into the spirit world.
Okay. So yes, this would be just a trapping of that power then. So if you want to say you're able to use your awareness to pick a passing spirit,
Yeah.
I will say, however, you can do that with the power, but now commanding the spirit to get you the information, I'm going to ask for a roll on that.
All right.
So on your sheet there, go ahead and make an ego roll. So you're trying to roll your ego equal to or less.
Actually, my ego is 13. Sorry.
Mhm.
Because I forgot that ego and intelligence begin at 11 and not 10.
Yeah. And so on the chart, you've got a die, and you've got a die with the word attack. You want to hit just the die, not the attack.
I rolled
You
a
certainly-
critical success.
Yes. Yes, there is an air spirit about that is willing to try and gather information for you.
Yes.
And so you sit in the back communing. You're literally talking to yourself as far as everyone else is concerned. Actually, that's not true. Kaylee can see and not stop her seeing. She can see into the astral. So she does see the spirit you're talking to.
So what I'd like to do with this is I would like to set out a plushie and have the spirit inhabit the plushie and talk to me, and it will be I'm too old for Pokemans, but my character would not be. So my character has each different type of spirit has an appropriate Pokemon, and he puts that out there. And
You got a plush Pokemon that you stick out, and
Yes,
the spirit inhabits it.
I have a backpack or a side satchel that's full of different types of Pokemon, and I put the spirit type out there. And then I will say, Lady Kaylee, perhaps you could research online to see maybe if someone has put out a hit on this gentleman.
Actually, you can
that idea.
You can check out the ShadowNet and see if anyone has recently taken out a hit on Techno G.
Yeah. What would I need to roll for that?
So this would be your special skill in computer hacking. whichever one you chose to call it. I think you bought the skill.
Yeah, computer programming detective work.
Yep, and I think that's based on intelligence.
13 versus 13, so.
Yep. Oh, you made it. Okay, I'm going to go in reverse order here. So, Kaylee, no one put out a hit on Techno-G, but Techno-G was recently hired. The information behind who and what, of course, obfuscated by the Shadownet, but he was hired just 3 days ago to do basically a snatch and grab. So you find the net advertisement looking for someone very skilled at intrusion countermeasures to steal a physical object, and all of. Actually, you wouldn't, but Ivan could have filled you on what some of Techno-G's aliases were. So he accepted a job a few days ago. You find that out for sure. No hit on him, but he took a job. The spirit, Masu, tells you that this human spiritual connection is very tenuous. He's more metal than man, and it's fading.
Ah, yes. One of those who have fallen underneath the seductive influence of the riddle of iron. Too bad that they never discover it before they perish.
Yep. And the fading is quite likely he's dying. Like he's, yeah.
Ah, yes. Lord Ivan, perhaps speed is a matter of requirement, as this Techno-G, your quote-unquote friend, is perishing as we speak.
Yes, I will put the pedal to the metal, and we will go very fast.
Okay.
Ah, perhaps that is not the wisest idea.
Ivan floors it. You run through some red lights, and
I
you're
do.
getting alerts on your pan that you're being ticketed. But of course, you've already set up an account for this, so you're paying off the tickets as they're rolling in.
Yeah.
Because that's how it works now. No one's going to stop you. They're
Yeah.
just gonna take your money. That's how it works.
They don't care about anything else.
Being rich, the actual superpower.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Any criminal activity that's only repercussion is a free it means it's legal for a price. That's how it works. You drive, even passing through red lights. You're going from, an okay part of town. The bowling alley is not in the prime location, but it's just south of the prime location. It's where the people with lots of money come down to slum because they think they're thinking they're being edgy. But the real slum is, just a little further down.
Yeah.
So you drive a bit. You make good time, maybe 15 minutes, and you come to a screeching halt following the GPS coordinates, and you are in a alley in a 5-story tenement brick old building. There's condemned signs all over the place, but people, of course, are still living here. They're just living here illegally.
Yeah.
GPS coordinates tell you that it's probably on the 3rd floor.
Okay. I leap out of the car and you know what? Actually, hang on, you two. Let's go ahead and get all invisible and then we'll go up.
So, as a question, before he does this, or while he's doing this, can I do an awareness just to see, if there's a sniper or any other fun stuff in this immediate area?
Okay.
Try to do some perception.
So how are you defining what you're doing? Are you going astral and just taking a quick fly around to see if you can find any other living or spiritual beings on the lookout?
Yes. So yeah, I can. It's an always on thing, but I need to roll, of course, magic just to do it.
So go ahead.
I don't have to pay any endurance to do this because I'm amazing. All right. Did I roll twice? Nope, I rolled just once. 11. I succeed on my ego check.
Okay, so you take a quick pop around. There are lots of there are some bystanders. A small gang is a couple of blocks away, paying no attention to the place. It's not being scouted out by anything, and there are no spirits around watching the place either. You do hover about a little bit. You see there's like a burning wreckage of a car a block over, like half on, half off the street. You see some gang members just coming by, lighting cigarettes off of it. But it doesn't look like it has anything to do with the building you're in front of now.
Okay, I will try to memorize their spirits so I can come back and punish them later when I have more time.
Okay.
Yes, I will say, no, there is no one in the surrounding area. However, I did not detect Techno-G's lifespan. So,
Yes, in fact, you did not, which could mean that it is sheltered. So in Shadowrun, you can block astral perception by covering yourself in living stuff. So security reasons, a lot of people grow ivy.
yes.
Lots
Also,
of ivy.
it could be because he has finally fallen underneath the
That's
siren
true.
song of technology, such
Yes.
that he is no longer technically alive.
Yep. So Masu kind of slumps over for just a moment as it goes astral and comes out of it, says his bit.
And then I will get out the car.
Okay, let's get invisible and then let us go.
Okay.
So
You do need to make a roll. All magic requires a roll on your magic.
all right, so it's just intelligence based, right?
Yeah, unless you bought a skill up for it.
I bought spell casting +1.
Okay, yeah. So your intelligence +1. So your intelligence is 1 higher.
Okay, so with my 1 up, so this is a roll over,
Under.
roll under.
So you do succeed.
Yeah, I still succeed then. So yeah.
Sure. And I'm assuming you're casting it with your maximum area of effect, individual.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So everyone's invisible. You don't have to stay within a certain radius. Your invisibility carries with you as long as Ivan continues to pay endurance for it.
You did not take the persist power on your invisibility.
Well, with magic, you can't. That was one of the rules. Endurance for all spells.
Okay.
Cost endurance for all spells, other than the ones that say that you don't need it, like awareness.
Oh, yes. No, but if you took persist, then it costs endurance to cast, but not to sustain.
Yep.
But nonetheless.
Actually, maybe you did. Do you remember how you built that? Are you having to pay endurance constantly or just the once?
I know I have to pay to. I thought it was per phase.
Yes, it's 4 per phase, unless you choose the persistent aspect. And then it's
Well, I
initial
still have a crap load of points, so maybe I'll throw that.
Actually, you
on
don't
there.
need to. If that's the only power you got running, since you're working off your pool, you can just pay for the advantage and it's still under your pool total.
Okay.
That's one of the nice things about having this as a power pool. You can change your spells on the running as they go.
Okay.
Right. All right. So there you go.
Yeah. Anything like persist, images and things like that, force field, you want to add some persist if you're going to do it multi-turn. So,
yep.
All right.
And since you aren't in combat, you're able to rest to get your endurance back. We won't worry about endurance draw until it becomes a thing. So until we enter phased combat, you're fine.
Oh, okay.
All right. So everyone's invisible. You're invisible to normal senses. You're invisible to electronic sensors, and you're even invisible to awareness. So like you would not be visible in the astral either.
Ooh, fancy.
Very nice.
Yeah, he paid a lot of points for that one.
Yep.
Okay. So what do? You're in an alley. There are what's left of the fire escapes on the outside of the building. And in other words, it's there. You just don't know how good it is because, of course, they don't test these anymore. The building's been declared a wreck.
Kaylee, would you even be able to get up the fire escape?
No.
Walk. She just doesn't want to.
Oh, crap. You could just stay in the vehicle and just drone us out if you want. Or you
No,
can come
I'll
along.
go. There might be a dead body in there.
Oh, you got dibs.
Wait, no. Cannibalism. That's
Yeah.
a big no-no.
It's,
She's a ghoul. It's part of her culture. Come on.
Yeah, don't
Yes.
you dare shame her.
This reminds me of the time where there was a lord in India that said, your cultural tradition is to burn women. My cultural tradition is to hang those who burn women. So I will build my gallows as you build your pyre. Yes. Anyways, never mind.
If they're not an elf, they're fair game.
Hmm. That's
So yeah, Masu, just don't die.
evil. Yes. Okay.
All right. So who's up the fire escape first, or are you just going through the front of the building?
With Kaylee, I think we're gonna go through the front door.
Okay.
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is abandoned, supposedly. So there's no guard out there. You just push the door open. Somebody had hung a chain with a padlock that's not really locked. You just pop it and go in. It had elevators. Someone has spliced electricity, so the elevator looks like it actually might be working, but there are also stairs. There are a few people hanging out on the stairs, most of them either very inebriated and passed out drunk or drugged. Either way, they're not paying a lot of attention to the door opening with nobody walking through.
Let's take the elevator.
Elevators, when they open and no one comes out, are what we like to call death traps because many people shoot at them. Perhaps the stairs, although I understand that you are physically flabby, are another option.
What is that about negative muscles?
Despite you being incredibly lazy and it being on the third floor, perhaps that is a better statement. Lord.
So I think I'm getting the idea that Mausu is doing this like passive aggressive sort of subservientness.
yes, indeed.
Listen here, new guy. Fireball if you keep it up. Let's go.
Yes,
so,
of course.
Elevator?
I will follow your instructions no matter how nonsensical, Lord.
Let's take the elevator.
Before we do,
you go first.
I want to see those youngsters on the stairs a little bit more closely.
Yeah. They're alive, but they're either intoxicated or drugged and just out.
Right. Do they have any drugs on them?
Yes.
I'm taking them.
You roll the bombs. You take their drugs. The stuff they're actually taking is completely legal. It's not even like the really good stuff. It's just stuff you can buy at a stuffer shack. You take it.
Lord Kaylee.
I have a dependence on drugs, so
Yes.
Lady Kaylee, I see. Preventing them from steeping into their decadence by taking that which they have rightfully stolen.
yes,
Excellent.
I'm taking it all right.
Yeah.
Masu's eyes become as wide as dinner plates.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine.
You have glaucoma, and therefore this is necessary.
Sure.
So, elevator or stairs?
Elevator.
Elevator. You get in the elevator. Someone looks like, yes, indeed, there is power going to it. Looks like someone has taken some effort to keep everything in working order. You see, though, that the third floor button, not only is there not a button, someone has pulled it out, and instead there's a keyhole where the third floor button should be.
Kaylee, is this in your wheelhouse?
Maybe. Can we peel the panel off of this thing?
Yeah, it's easy enough to do. You pop it open. Did you buy a particular skill in electronics or anything like that? You have hacking, actually. That covers it. Yeah, it's easy enough. You don't even have to roll, really. You just short it out, which basically pops the button, and the elevator starts to rise. It opens on the third floor. There's a ding. The elevator opens, and you are not greeted with a hail of gunfire or a grenade being pitched in. It is a darkened hall with flickering light that looks like it's about to go out. Actually, the red glare of emergency lights looks like they've been permanently wired on. It looks like there's one metal secure door on one of the apartments up here, and it looks like all the other apartments, the doors have been removed, and you see like video camera set up. You see some very rudimentary trip wires all over the place.
my greatest enemy, a locked door.
Well, Techno! I'll just yell down the hallway.
You yell, and a drone floats in. One of Techno's drones. You recognize this is the one that was protecting his body. Floats over to you, scans you. You know, the guns come out. They start rotating, but then the scanner comes over. Seems to still know who Ivan is, and
Right.
just kind of floats back down. But there's no other response.
You said there was tripwires and stuff all down the hallway?
Yeah, they're very obvious. They're zigzagging around the doors. You think it's more for effect than anything else. Like you can literally see an old style hand grenade laying on the floor with one of the tripwires connected to the pull pin, with no effort made to disguise the fact that it's there.
See, if I know Techno, he's a smart enough cookie to put out really obvious traps that you'll avoid, and then have his more sinister traps hiding underneath of those things. Masu, go ahead and walk on down the hallway.
Yes, I will take this. The sleeping tiger, the crouching tiger in his den. I will take that, sir. So, Masu will proceed forward,
Okay.
avoiding the obvious traps.
Okay, it crisscrosses the floor in several places. So do give me let's have you make a check here.
Yeah, sure. A dex check?
A dex check, not an attack, just a check.
All right. Absolutely not.
Okay, you pull several of the wires as you try and avoid them. You step in a crisscrossing cat's cradle bunch of string. It pulls the pin on the grenade, and some gas starts coming out, which you're hit full in the face with, and but nothing happens.
All right. Well, after I take a few seconds to, I guess, see if I'm knocked out, then I will proceed forward and continue on.
Okay, you get to the reinforced steel door. You also notice the walls around the door have recently been painted, and with a quick, flick of your finger, you can tell that the wall has been reinforced too. So, it doesn't do any good to put in a reinforced door when the plaster around it is not bulletproof. So,
Yes. I will just try to open the door, see if it's unlocked.
it is not unlocked. You rattle it a few times. You see that there's an electronic eye up there flashing, and there's power to it, but nothing seems to be happening.
I will say, Lord Ivan, it is my worst enemy.
When
Unlocked
Masu speaks, his voice is high and squeaky as he's just been hit by a heavy dose of helium.
Lord Masu! Or the fledgling phoenix says that his worst enemy, a locked door, is here. Lord Ivan,
Did,
I knocked.
this is good. Did you knock on the door?
No, let me knock.
You knock. The little electronic eye does a scan from head to toe, and nothing happens.
It does not recognize that I am a friendly force because the Techno G, your friend, doesn't notice me. Perhaps this was a foolish move, Lord Ivan. Not that I am going to tell you that you are a fool or anything.
I knew it wouldn't work. I just wanted to see if you were going to get blown up going down the hallway. Yeah, I'll head down there and I'll go knock on the door so it can scan me.
Yeah, it does scan you, and you hear the chunk as several deadbolts thrown back. And if you try the doorknob, it opens. The first thing that assaults you is the smell of defecation. And you see Techno is laying on the bed. He looks awful. There are welts on his exposed skin. He's drooling, bubbling at the lips, some kind of greenish tinge to it all. He's barely breathing.
All right. I will cast Regen on him.
Okay, how many dice?
I have 2 dice, but I still have to make a roll to see if I succeed.
All right, Mausu runs over and
Yes, I do succeed.
okay, roll those dice to see how much body give back.
7.
7 points. So you do so, and you see some of the there's a big inhalation of breath, and the breathing gets a little stronger. And Techno kind of just turns, lolls his head over, looks at you, and you see his hand is kind of like flopping around, trying to reach the gun that's on the bed, because of course he has no idea who you are.
I'll walk up to him like, Techno.
Despite your healing, you can see that he's and it did absolutely do something, but you see, like, in front of you, you said your awareness is always on, is how you termed it. Okay, so his aura with the infusion of the magical healing kind of is shown brightly for a moment, but it's starting to degrade again.
Ah, your friend has been cursed by a powerful magician.
Well,
and has a corrosive effect upon his soul.
that would be the toxic spirits he's probably gotten himself mixed in with.
You come over, and he recognizes you, Ivan, so he stops reaching for his gun.
Techno, which one of these things you got plugged into you so we can communicate?
I could read. We could do a mind contact.
He raises a finger and kind of just points to a small table in the kitchen.
I'll go over there and look and see what he's got.
Okay. Well, you see his terminal, his deck there.
Yeah.
But also there's a canvas bag, and there's something kind of like a green liquid leaking out of it. It's like it's burned through some of the canvas and onto the table. It's very similar to the foam that's coming out of his mouth.
Well, this is what he's gotten into. I'll take his deck over to him.
Okay.
I don't know what to do with this. I'm not the technology person. Kaylee, can you give me a hand?
Sure. What have we got here?
We need to talk to him, and he's very hardwired. I was hoping you could just plug a thing in.
Oh, sure. I'll look for some sort of voice application on his pants or on his deck, so I could hook him directly up to it.
Yeah. You basically find the trodes in the back of his neck and you plug him in, which he goes limp, but his breathing does get a little bit less labored. And you see pixelated 8-bit version of Techno G appear on the screen.
Techno, man, you are looking super shitty.
Indeed, you have to upgrade that graphics card.
No, that's intentional. He always did that, but I'm talking about this meat suit.
Yes, the green crud.
Hey, look, I got hired by a Johnson I've never worked with before a few days ago. It's a simple snatch and grab. I did my due diligence. I tracked down the actual hiring person to Hawkshorn Chemical. Target was a cylinder. It's over there on the table in that canvas bag. It was kept in a secure warehouse. Pretty simple snatch and grab. They had a pretty complicated alarm system. Got rid of it, got in, got the goods. Rented guards. Did not expect them. The guy was at a coffee break when I came in, happened to be walking in the door, the donut still in his mouth, took a shot at me. I thought I got away scot-free, but I think the shot hit that canister. I've been in a bad way laying here for the last few days. Pretty sure I crapped myself. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's like the eye on the laptop looks around. Oh, I definitely did.
Yeah. Well, give us the details of your Johnson. We'll see if we can hunt him down.
Interesting. So, did you feel a pull in your spirit, or was it in your body upon the leakage of the chemical? And are we being affected right now?
Likely. The stuff seems to be contact. Did he touched anything?
I saw the bag that it leaked out of, and I touched your deck.
Yeah, you might be in a similar situation in a few hours.
Oh, great. Jeez. Now, and I touched it too. This is.
We touched you too.
Oh, yeah, you're definitely going to come down with this.
Thankfully, my regeneration spell is not on contact. Good for me. I mean, I will honor you as you die. Who do you want your money to go to?
So,
My
like,
dog.
there's a short, and you guys, his vision goes out, and then he starts to shake violently on the bed. He's going into spasms.
Okay. Can I recast the regeneration on him?
Yes, although it seems
Okay.
to be temporary.
Yeah.
He has a poison or a toxin in him that seems to be just ravaging his system. So you're giving him more time, but he really needs to get to a hospital or something that can do more.
Yep. All right. I will check and see whether or not this is affecting him on the spiritual or on the physical level, just with my awareness.
You just make the roll for your magic check.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, it's completely physical. It's eating away at his nervous system. It's affecting his respiration primarily. Like he's going to die because his ability to breathe is going to end.
Blah. I will explain to the others.
All right, let's do a quick canvas of some of the other places here. See if we can come up with a tarp or something like that.
Yes, one not covered in poop would be nice.
Well, we're just going to get the tarp laid out.
There is a
Remove-
tablecloth on the table beneath the canvas sack.
That'll do.
It's potentially contaminated.
Listen.
And you eat corpses. How?
It's fine.
Come on,
Everything
we
is
got to get him to a hospital.
I mean, I agree with your underlying sentiment, comma, I don't want to die here. I have so much to live for.
I'm going to walk up to Masu. I'm just going to grab him by the side of the head.
Oh, no.
You're fucked now, too, my friend.
You won't die here. You'll die in a hospital. Let's go.
Well, the three of us, Kaylee, Masu, we're not going to the hospital. We're going to take him to the hospital, and we have to figure out what the fuck is going on and how to fix it.
So, as a question, just because I like to ask these things, is your boy Techno G wanted? And, will sending him to the hospital with this...
He has a public send, you know it, because he had the
Okay.
book published and everything. So he has a real ID.
And then if he shows up in a hospital with the symptoms of the flesh of the neurotoxin thing, may people descend on him and torture him to death.
Listen.
Do you have an underground doctor? You have to have an underground doctor, right?
No, I don't.
Can you
hurdle.
look up an underground doctor who specializes in neurotoxins, and we take him there so that way he can rest in peace and not in pieces? You'll have
I can try that.
no conspiracy set on your mind.
Listen, one problem at a time, and if that problem is tough, we kill it and then handle the next problem.
Right.
I'll start getting the tablecloth ready, and I'll start working on getting him dragged down to it, so that way we can.
So, Kaylee, you pick the laptop off the table as the tablecloth is wrapped up. You notice that there are 3 chips that are slotted into his deck.
I will take a look at them.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you just pull up the directory. He just left the password open. Well, he opened it, I should say, when you jacked him in. So one of them is basically a guidebook style information and maps of the area metroplex. So it must have been here in this city that he did this. There's lots of annotations about reference to different back alleys and so forth. He's figuring out how to break in. One of the chips contains specifications for the run, including the location of the meet where they're to deliver the canister tomorrow. That's it. Yeah, 2 of the data chips were basically information. One was the guidebook, and one was him making notes.
Alrighty. Well, maybe we can interrogate the fella who needed the chemicals.
I think
I'll
that
copy
is a
the info
great
down on my
start.
deck, and we can parse that later as well.
Okay, Ivan, you have the tablecloth. What are you doing with it? Did you wrap the canister up with it, or?
No, I was going to use that so we can carry Techno-G without having to touch his poop body.
Okay. So the canvas bag with the canister is laying on top of the tablecloth. So how do you resolve that?
Oh, fuck.
You can
Didn't
just
think-
wrap him up in the piss and shit stained the bedcloth that he's laying in.
I think that's the thing to do. See if I can find a trash can or something to pick the tablecloth with the canister
Drop
and
it in.
put it all in there. That way we can just carry the trash can.
So that's what Ivan's doing. What are you doing, Kaylee? Oh, actually, Kaylee, you're looking over his deck, looking into these chips that are slotted in. Masu, what are you doing other than worrying to death that you're about to leak green slime out of your nose and eyes?
I mean, so this is apparently just par for the course for these people. I will put on some nitrile gloves so that way I can not necessarily leave evidence all over the place. People with no freaking creep. And then I will seek to put a container around this canister.
Okay. Ivan just dumped it in a trash bag into so there's a like a small waste bucket so that it's carryable, and then you want to find some other way to contain it.
Yes, I want to make a reasonably airtight container so that way I'm not poisoning this entire building when we're taking it out.
So the best that you see, he's got a 200-foot roll of saran wrap in one of the drawers. That's the best that you're seeing as you're contemplating this drawer. You guys hear a crack and a tinkle of glass. Everybody's head turns to the one window that he has that goes out to the fire escape, and a grenade has just been lobbed into the room.
Oh, good.
All right, so we're going to start on segment 1.
Mm-hmm.
A second. All right, does anybody have a speed of 4 or better?
No.
Okay, grenade goes off. The room starts filling with a gas. That's segment 1. Segment 2, anybody with a speed of 3 or better?
No.
I thought 2 was 2.
6, 5, and 3.
I gotcha. Okay.
Yep. Segment 3.
I have a speed of 2.
A speed of 2. So you can act. So the grenade is spewing. It's spinning around as one end is spewing out some kind of smoke.
Okay. I guess I'll put up my force field.
Okay. Make a magic check.
Yep. And then I will. That's a half action, or
It's
is
a
that
half.
full?
That's a half.
Okay.
Activate a power is half.
Yep. All right. Magic. Bam. All right. Yes, I succeed.
Mm-hmm.
And then it is persistent. I have to pay some endurance for that. All right. And then my other half is I am going to move up to where the smoke is.
Okay. Is your force field airtight? Does it have that ability?
No, it does not.
All right. So you move up to, so movement is half phase. So you move up to it as well. That was segment 3. Segment 4, anybody with a speed of 1 or 3? 1, Ivan?
1.
All right, both of you guys. Whoever has the higher dex would be the one to go first, but you can both. Just tell me what you're doing.
I would just want to try and kick the can back out the window.
Ooh. Okay. I tell you what. Make me a dex check. -2. So whatever your dex is, it's 2 less than that.
All right, so that
Because
means
you've got to actually kick it from the floor up through the window. It's a little bit of a
yeah.
Yep.
So that we're aiming for 10.
10.
Yep.
I get it.
You get it. So you kick it out. Kaylee, what are you doing?
I'm getting my drone and I'm just activating the drone, but holding it out in front of me to use the fans to blow the smoke away.
Oh, okay. I like that. So here's what I'm going to do. Because on this round, the first round of affecting of the gas takes place, which is going to act as an ego attack against all of you guys. So give me a second. We will start with Ivan. What is your ego?
12.
Okay. You are affected. Take 11 points to knockout.
Okay.
And is that larger than your stun, or is that less than your stun?
My stun is 13.
You're fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yep. You feel a little woozy.
All right.
Okay. Haley, what is your ego?
13.
Okay. All right. So they failed both of the rolls, which means you're only taking half the effect. 16 points of knockout. And is that bigger than your stun?
It is.
All right. So you're stunned, which means no actions for the rest of the round, although you can take, what's it called? Your refresh or recover. Okay, Mouse. What is, Nick, what is yours?
I am 13. But could I take the mental? I have mental discipline. Could I take ego evade to get to defensive? +3 on my defensive against
+3. So
Yep.
to a 16. So also a fail. Oh my gosh.
No.
That's on a fail. 20 points of knockout, and is that higher than your stun?
Yeah. No, Bert. It's not higher than my stun.
Is it higher than your knockout?
No, it is not higher.
Okay, so but you're definitely feeling woozy, so you're out for the rest of this this round.
Mhm.
And that was on 4. So
I do have an action on 6, but I can't take it because I'm stunned.
Kaylee, you kind of drop your drone as you kind of stumble, so it's no longer venting the gas out. Masu is stumbling around a little bit. Segment 5, Chuck, do you have a speed of 2, 4,
My
5, or
speed's
6?
1.
I do have a speed of 2. Oh, yeah, but I'm out.
Yep. You can take a recovery if you want to get some end back, but other than that, can't do anything else.
I will take my recovery.
All right. So on 5, the door is kicked in. 2 people wearing armored vest, respirators, and having 2 assault guns with the laser light scanning around come in. And on 6, they open fire.
Woof. Oh my God, these guys have some actions. Okay.
Street Sammys.
Yep.
All right. Ivan, since you're still active, you get your full defense. What is your dex?
My dex is 12.
12. Okay. So he's 21. Actually, 22 minus 12. Okay. 6, 14. It's going to miss. Okay. Yeah. So you move as they start trailing a line of lead towards you. You start moving through the room. Maybe you drop and roll. But yeah, your defense saves you from that. Next guy is going to shoot. I'm going to say even it's Kaylee, odd it's Masu. Masu's at Masu.
Why would you even roll that, Bert? Why do you?
This is how it works.
Yeah.
Okay. Stun, I believe you get half your dex. So what is your dex?
My dex is 10, although I did have
5.
the recover action. So just if that does recover me from the stun.
No, you're still stunned. 22,
Yep.
20, 19, 70, 16. So they need 16 or less. Gotcha.
Yep.
All right. So they light you up.
Oh, this is...
17 more to your knockout. Are you still conscious?
Now, does my force field subtract from that?
You're still spending end on it? Or, then yes, it still does.
Yes. So it will take 8 away from that.
Okay.
I guess because it is resistant and blah, 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 blah. So,
yep.
So I will take 9, but fortunately.
Right. And now you're going to take body as well, although is your field resistant?
Yes. Yes, it is.
6, 7, 8. So it's 9 points of body.
Okay.
Minus your armor.
Okay. So 1 point.
Okay. 1 point gets through.
Yep. And then 9 points of knockout get through.
Mm-hmm.
So.
All right. So that's the end of segment 6. So we are on the next round, segment 1.
Mm-hmm.
They go unless anybody's got a speed of 4, 5, or 6.
No.
Okay. One of them lays down cover fire as the other one goes for the trash can that's been sat on the table. That was in the process of thinking about putting saran wrap over it. So one of them is basically going to suppress the room, which is essentially an ego attack. So what is your ego, Ivan?
12.
6. So that's a wash. They need 11 or less. You are not suppressed. So you don't have to cover for the rest of the round. You can act however you want.
Cool.
So Kaylee, what is your ego?
13.
And so is Masu.
So is Masu. Okay, well, here's Kaylee. Well, that helped. Yeah. So you can't act this round as you dive for cover to get out of the way. And Masu?
13.
That's including your ego defense extra.
My ego defense extra will boost it to a 60.
Okay, so 8. Nope. You're fine and can act. And then this round, you're no longer stunned. You took a recovery. So segment 2, they do not go on segment 2. None of you go unless somebody's got a 3 speed.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. So segment 3. Somebody have a 2, or a 4. 2. You can act.
I will cast images on the one who is going for the trash can.
Okay. Make your magic check first to see if you can get the spell off.
And it is +1 to this. So yes, it does.
Okay.
And
now
I get 5d6.
And he gets his ego defense, yes?
Is an ego attack. Yes.
Yeah, so he gets his ego defense, right?
Yep. So I have to roll to succeed on this. So my ego is 13. What is his?
His is 12.
Okay, so 14 or less. No, 12 or less. 12 or less.
12 or less. Yep.
12 or less. Boop. I get 11, so I succeed. So now I roll 5d6. Boop. 19, so I can do subtle things to him.
Okay. What do you want to do subtle?
I want him to reach for about a foot away from the trash can.
So with all the smoke around, so you make it shift a little bit in his vision. I'm going to say that his next action will be lost as he fumbles for something that's not there.
All right. And then I want to...
Oh, what does it look like when you cast your spell, by the way?
So basically, I pull out... Well, no. I raise my hands into the air and say, your eyes are clouded. And then, yes. The blind cannot see. There we go. That's much better. All right, and then that's half an action, right?
That's half, right?
All right,
But
and
that
then,
was an attack, so you can't do another attack for the other
yes,
half.
I would like to cast concealment on myself.
Okay.
So that's another ego.
Magic check. Ooh.
I do succeed because I have plus
Yeah.
1 to magic. So, and then, boop, I am concealed, and it affects all perception, physical and otherwise.
Okay. Sounds good.
Much harder to hit me now.
Mhm.
All right, that's my action.
That is 3. So segment 4. Does anybody have a speed of 1, 3, 5, or 6?
I have one.
Okay, Kaylee, you're suppressed this round, so you have to cower for the round. You hit the deck. What is Ivan doing? You have free action.
So yeah, I realized that I'm very dependent on Gontu for close quarters combat
Yes, you
Oh
are.
no.
because I'm really good at fighting groups, not so much, people in the same room as me.
Mhm.
So I presumed that my invisibility ended when
You
Techno's
had to.
drone.
Well, it ended when you had to present yourself to the door and be scanned.
Yeah, that's what I
So,
was saying.
yeah.
Like when I had to do that. Yeah. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn the 3 of us invisible again.
Okay. Yeah. Make a magic check.
Yeah. It may not do much, but
Actually, you may not see Masu because I think he just disappeared.
Yes,
yeah.
Okay.
It's
Well, that's
-3 to see me,
Yeah.
but you.
So did you succeed or fail?
I rolled a 15. I had to get a 13. I failed.
Okay. Do you have any pluses to your magic roll?
I did take the spell casting up, which would have made that a 14.
So
So
it's still a fail. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's just with the action going on at the moment, you're just not able to concentrate well, and
Yeah.
you're trying to find Masu to target him, and you're just not finding him. So that kind of throws you off as well.
Yeah.
Right. So that's segment 4. Segment 5, which is
That-
2, 4, 5, and 6.
Me. I
Yeah.
can go.
So do they. Their dex is 14.
Yeah, they're faster than me.
So the one wastes his turn trying to grasp something that's not there.
Mhm.
The other one doesn't see you, doesn't see Kaylee, but does see Ivan.
Mm-hmm.
Ivan, what's your dex?
It's a 12.
12. So they're going to, okay. Need a 12 or less. They got it. Okay. What is your defense?
12.
12. So just 1 point of knockout and 3 points of body. Do you have resistant defense?
No.
Okay, so 3 points of body as the bullets do impact.
Okay.
So not bad.
Yeah.
And then go ahead, Masu.
I will be doing a telepathy attack. I have lethal on my telepathy. So
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
I
man.
You
fail.
create aneurysms.
Yep, but sadly, my magic does not go.
Oh,
So-
Oh, man.
Um,
Okay, so half actions wasted trying to summon your magical ability.
yep, and then I will recover if I can
Okay,
for
yep.
the other half.
Recover for your endurance, right?
Yep.
And then Kaylee, you normally could have gone, but you're suppressed this round.
Yep.
So 6. Does anybody have a speed of 3, 4, 5, or 6?
Nope.
Okay, so they go again. The guy that was groping around finds the trash can, grabs it, and half action, heads out the door. While the other guy takes a step behind him to cover and just sprays the room. So again, he's suppressing the room, and he doesn't have to see you to suppress because it's kind of an involuntary thing.
Yep.
So Kaylee, you're already suppressed, so you're fine. You're hidden and you're safe. Avon, what's your ego?
Ego is 12.
So flat. Nope, you're fine.
And 16 for me for
Nope, he does suppress you this time.
Right.
The bullets get a little too close for comfort and you dive.
Mhm.
So you will lose next round. Actually, it's a full round action that you're out for. So he steps out of the room with his other half action, leaving you guys in a room quickly filling with gas. You've already been exposed to it though, so it's no longer a threat other than it is filling the room, making things hard to see. So let's take a break in the action for a moment, and let me just do a check. Kaylee, what are you doing? The bullets have stopped flying, so you feel like you can get up now if you wanted to.
I think I'll do exactly that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll command my drone to go out into the hallway and
Okay.
cast images of myself near the elevator.
Okay. Sounds good. So through the drone's hollow projector, you cast an image of yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you need a roll for that? I don't know if you. I think all of your hacking things require a roll.
Well, I guess
they
yeah.
don't.
If it's decking or
Yes.
well, I mean it is a decking move,
yeah.
but it's yeah. In any case, yes, I rolled.
All right. 12 out of 13. You're fine. So you do that. So you cast an image of yourself near the elevator. Anything
right.
else? So that's half action. You have another half action to do something if you want.
What is the 3d6 interacting? Okay, so my it looks like the image of myself that I've produced is like pulling out a shotgun.
Yeah, so the effect of that 11 is basically going to increase their difficulty and something they try. That's what the effect die is.
And that'll be the totality of my action.
Sure.
Let's try to
Ivan, what are you doing? You didn't have to hit the ground, but they did just exit the door. And again, the room is just filled with smoke. It's very hard to see.
Well, I would like to know where they're going to go.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll go ahead and use my telepathy spell.
Ooh, okay. Do you need line of sight? Do you have to be able to see your target?
That's what I was reading. It just says across distances.
You know what? You can see enough of him to know where to target.
Okay.
So I will say you can.
It does say, visual contact or an equivalent.
Yeah, equivalent. So like you know where he is. You can see him moving through the smoke. It's not a perfect visual, but enough to target with.
Sure. Yeah. So I'll go ahead and see if I cast it with my spell test.
Oh, actually, that equals. Yeah.
Yeah, because I have the +1. So yeah, that's equals. Oh. And then for telepathy, I've got 3d6 tied to it.
Well, you still have to do it. It's an ego attack because he's not willing. So you have to roll the ego. It's ego versus. Okay. It's an ego attack.
So it's 3d6. You're looking at a target of 11 plus your ego minus his ego. Okay. So what is your ego?
12.
It's evens then. So you need 11 or less.
Okay.
Nope. Yep.
Damn. All right.
All right. So that's half action. What do you want to do with the other half?
I'm gonna go check on Techno then.
Okay. You go over to Techno. You were just wrapping him up in the cloth and everything. He's still breathing. Masu hit him again with healing, I think.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. So so his breathing's regular, but he is out. He's alive though.
All right. Well, we need to. I mean, we got to get Techno healed, right? But then also, I don't know if we need to chase them down to get the goo to make a cure, or because I put it all in the trash can and then they took the trash can. So they took the tablecloth with the goo on it too.
All right. Kaylee, your drone shows that one of the people with automatic rifle just showers your image, basically blowing up the elevator bank. But that's not where they're headed. They're heading for the stairs going up to the roof.
Ooh.
Oh, boy. In that case, they're headed to the roof. Quick to the fire escape.
Real quick, Bert, could I have tried to also do a telepathy?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I will.
I'm gonna see if there's enough of a silhouette to aim a bullet at, then you can aim a spell at it. So
All right, so I get a 13 to succeed, and then my roll is a 19 minus whatever his ego is.
12.
So I will not succeed on the attack against him.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, same thing. All right, so what do you want to go?
I'm going.
Kaylee just yells out, going
Up.
for the roof.
Yep, I'm gonna open up for a half action. If open up the window and try to go through.
It's more of a full action. You go to the window, you throw it open, and this is where you guys can feel and hear the sounds of rotor blades from above you, creating a downwash.
This is gonna be so good. If I can cast persistent.
When we were approaching the building, do we have an idea of how many floors there are?
5. You're in the 3rd floor.
All right, yeah. Then I'll be waiting for him to get the window open so we can go up the fire escape.
Okay, window's open now. He took his both half actions to get to the window, throw it open, so it's open.
I'm out the window, heading up.
All right, now here's the fun part. This is not a part of the Champions Now system, but I do this with every game where luck is involved. Chuck, high or low? Roll a d100.
Let's go high since we're climbing up. 69 dudes.
The nice number. It holds, but
Super crit.
barely. Pieces of rusted iron fall under your feet. You hear the whole frame creak and moan as you weren't even thinking about it. So you hit it and started climbing. It's only as you're climbing up to the 2nd floor that you're realizing that this whole thing could come down. And yes, ahead of you, the helicopter hasn't actually touched down on the roof because it may have fallen through. This is a really bad looking building. So it's hovering. It's also completely black, and you can tell by the way the hull looks kind of plasticky that the whole thing this is a Black Ops chopper. So it's going to be sonar proof. It's got a very quiet footprint for the rotor blades. And the glass canopy is darkened out on this side, so you can't see anyone on the inside.
Oh, well, this is a very easy.
All right, so that's your action, though.
Yeah.
So, Kaylee, what are you doing?
I'm going to pilot the drone to head for the stairs and try to beat them up the stairs.
Okay. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. 6. Did you buy the drone as a thing, or is it just like a flavoring for the software as a drone?
Well, it was originally bought for the last system that we had used.
Yeah, so we'll call it flavoring.
Flavoring.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it's free. So I'm just going to do. So you try to buzz past them because there's only one stairwell. So there we go, and it does.
All right.
You see one of them try to butt it with the end of the rifle, strikes the stairwell instead, and your drone buzzes up. So I'm going to say, drone's pretty quick, so I'm going to say it gets up to the last flight of stairs, but unfortunately, your drone doesn't have hands, and so you've got so the final flight goes to a door, which needs to be opened to get to the roof. But you did beat them up there.
Cool.
Okay, so
is that my full turn or just a half turn?
We'll call it a half since it's mostly software driven. So go ahead.
Okay. In that case, I'll cast images to put myself in front of the door.
Okay.
Again, with a shotgun to just sort of stall them.
Sure. Go ahead and roll the effect dice on that. Oh, well, actually do your hacking roll first to make sure the software goes out. Get it programmed just right.
Damn.
Did you take a skill add to your programming?
Yeah, I did actually.
So then it's
skill computer programming. Yeah,
you're good. Go ahead and roll the effect dice for it.
Okay.
Only a 9. Okay. All right, good enough. Now we're going to go back. We're going to go back into rounds now. So segment 1. They're going to go 4, 5s, and 6 on the speeds. So they get to the floor. They see the image of Kaylee standing in front of the door, shotgun, and so they're going to start shooting. So what I'm going to do is make this an ego roll. to see if they think it's real or not. They're basically, if they fail it, they're going to continue to blast at Kaylee, thinking maybe she's a spirit or something. If they make it, they're going to figure out it's an illusion. All right.
Right.
So I'm using your effect roll as their. So
That's their target.
yeah. So unfortunately, that was low roll. So they have to make a 14 or less. They make it. Yeah. So they're able. They take a few shots. They see it pass through the image, and then just continue to barrel forward, open the door, and they get onto the roof.
Yeah.
So that's segment 1. Segment 2. Does anybody have a speed of 3? Nope. Segment 2. They both jump onto the chopper. The chopper lifts off. Segment 3. Speed 2.
That's me.
Okay. So you're still in the room below, looking up.
Yep. I have to. Given that I do have an awareness that goes to the astral, can I say that I do see the pilot?
No,
Okay.
because astral can't see through. Well, okay, no. You would normally be able to, but the canopy is made such that astral viewing doesn't work
Okay.
through it.
No, and which is very fair.
So that takes it half an action to figure out that they have magical protection.
All right.
One.
I am going to spend the rest of my round to try to do detective work to understand the magical protection that they do have, so I can trace them back.
Oh, okay. Sure. So you spin around thinking about what would be required to protect a chopper like that.
Yes,
Yeah.
and the flavor of the spell that they have.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so you can couple that with awareness. You're getting like a signature of the magic that's involved, that sort of thing. Okay, sounds good. And that was at speed 3. Okay, speed 4. This is speeds 1, 3, 5, and 6.
I'm speed 1.
Okay.
Speed 1.
Fireball.
Well, this is segment 4, so speed 1, yes. So fireball. Who's got the faster dex? You or Kaylee?
I got a 12.
I got 11.
Okay, fireball. All right, roll the spell test.
Yeah, I get it. I got 6 under 14.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, here's the thing. It does have spell protection, so we're going to use that roll, and I think it's still going to succeed. Go ahead and roll your effect die.
Okay, so my damage on this is I got 46. 12.
Oh, that's low. That's low. Okay, so 12 points. Means 2 points gets through. So the fireball hits it square on, but before it actually impacts the vessel, you see it kind of disperse a little bit. Like it almost like the fireball split in half and went around it. Some of it did get through.
Okay.
Just not enough to ground a chopper.
That's fair.
Yep, and actually 6, 7, 8 points of body damage to the chopper. Okay. Minus its defense. All right, so you did something to it, but it definitely has defense. Kaylee, you can go.
I figure at this point there's not much I can do, so I'll just kind of finish wrapping up Techno G.
Well, they did open the door, so your drone is there with an open door.
That is true.
Just letting you know that they opened the door, so your drone could get through.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll try to fly the drone up as close to the chopper as I can get, because I imagine there's a lot of wind to fight through.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'll try to cast an image of myself as K Lava on the hood of the chopper.
Sure. Go ahead and make your hacking roll to see if you can get it to project, and then give me the effect die if you make it.
Oh, wait. I got the +1 for programming, so 14.
Okay, there you go. Well, let's have the effect die.
10, so moving and talking.
Okay, moving and talking. All right, that's also going to be the basis on their ego check as they go now on 5. Masuda, you have a speed of 2.
I do indeed.
Okay, what's your dex?
Significantly lower than theirs.
Yeah, so they're going to go first. So the pilot may be distracted, though. Let's find out. You rolled a 10 on the effect, so that means 11, 12, 13 or less. 8. Unfortunately, yeah, maybe he's a fan and just gives the thumbs up to the little K lava that's on the front, and the chopper just climbs at its maximum speed up. So that's on. Okay, so Maosu, you can do something, but the chopper has moved.
I am going to try to get to sick an air spirit, in particular the air spirit that I have, and I'm going to say, hey, follow it and then come see me.
So like a tracer. Okay.
Indeed. So
make your magic skill check.
All right. Yes.
Make it. All right. So let's have the effect die. Let's see what the effect is.
All right.
What is the power that's attached?
I am going to use telepathy if I can.
Okay. Yeah.
So that way. 20.
Oh, nice. 23, and let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 penetrating. Okay, good enough. So I'll use that 23 as basically its defense to being seen or spotted. Mm-hmm. Good roll.
What's this?
Okay, yeah. So you command the air spirit that was in one of your Pokemon plushes to fly off and to track the chopper. I believe it's out of everybody's range except for spellcasters. So, Ivan, it is nearly out of range and much faster than it should be. It looks like the chopper's got some kind of masking holographic camouflage from the bottom. So, like, you can barely make out, like, this little blur in the air where it is, but it's enough to target with. Assuming you've got the range. Is there anything you want to try?
My thought would be to fireball again.
Okay. Real quick, can I have a quick verbal thing of Lord Ivan, perhaps causing a crash of a toxic chemical in the middle of the city might be antithetical. I do have a tracker on it that will potentially lead us to the source.
It's like the Jiminy Cricket. It's just Ivan's one shoulder is the reasonable person.
It's like there's Ivan and the little angel just pops up. Now that's not a good idea. It's like it's not even a devil. It's Ivan.
Exactly. So what does Ivan do?
I'm going to cast fireball.
Okay. All right. What is your range though on that?
I think blast is visual, but
nope. No, it's
yes, distance. Yeah, distance modifier -1 per 3 hexes.
Yeah,
and range is 5 hexes times power points. So you put like,
yep. And so with its speed, it will have gotten 20 hexes.
So it will be in range.
Yeah,
there's no way it's not in range.
Yeah, but that is minus to the die. So go ahead and make the spellcasting roll first. You make the spellcasting roll. All right, so it's minus. What is it? -1 die for every 3 hexes.
Yes, -1 per 3 hexes.
So 3, 6, 9.
So 6 minus 6.
Yeah, -6 die. So how many dice do you have in Fireball?
4.
Yeah.
So it's 4 dice -6.
Yeah.
Or
okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
4 dice -6. 6.
6. Okay. So its magical defense is greater than that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So again, you hit it, but there's something around or on the chopper that just dissipates it.
Well, shoot. I wish you had brought down that chopper in the middle of the city.
Well, see, now the other thing is the spirit was also caught in that because it's area of effect.
What?
Oh, no.
Actually, it's a physical attack. Your spirit only works on the spiritual plane or your astral plane, so it's fine.
Yes.
Okay, so it goes out of view. You are left with people starting to rouse themselves from their drug-induced comas and sleeps. People yelling fire because there's still smoke streaming out of Techno G's apartment room. And that chopper is completely silent in the sky, just heading out.
So, Lord Ivan, it might be worth calling some hazmat people, given the potential leakage that has happened here.
Yeah, no, when you need to go after this stuff, when you get Techno to the hospital, it's, someone else's problem.
Lady Kaylee. Given that Lord Ivan does not care about the... Oh, wait.
I've
their
already
corpses will
contacted
not
them.
be
It's
able for you to
fine.
consume them if they are all dead because of a poison.
I've
He has a
already
point.
contacted the proper hazmat authorities. It's fine.
I look at her to see whether or not she has actually contacted the appropriate hazmat authorities.
The odds of that actually having happened are 0.
Okay, so the fledgling Phoenix will get on his phone and call 911.
Right. So you get on your pan and you dial 911. Now here's the question: did Masu have a public
He
send?
does have a public send.
Okay,
That
which
is
means
right, yeah.
Okay. You dial the effective 911.
Yep.
Yeah, and so they home in on your pan now is what happens.
Yep.
Okay, so what do you guys do? Smoke is still pouring out of Techno G. People are yelling fire. There's no fire alarms in this place anymore. It's a condemned building. So people are just streaming out in the streets yelling fire. You can see people in apartment tenements across the streets are opening their windows and they're pointing as well.
Can I roll a presence check to shut them the hell up?
There are a lot of them, and
Okay.
your voice being able to carry.
That's
Describe to
doable.
me how you do it. Just describe to me how you do it.
Okay. So I will look to see if I can do telepathy to aid my presence here and say,
Okay.
shut up. It was a,
Do you have area of effect or multiple
do not.
targets?
No, you're fair. You're fair.
Yeah.
No, I do not. But I do have
You can influence
images.
somebody.
I have images
Yeah.
that I could mask the smoke.
You can mask it as
images
something
is-
else.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I was going to say, you could actually telepathically suggest to one of the people that seem to be leading the...
Yeah. Why don't I do that? Yeah,
Want to try that? Yeah. You pick out one of the gang leaders on the street that seems to be the one that's causing the most amount of ruckus.
Mm-hmm. All right. So
Spell check.
Yep, I am. Boop.
While this is going on, the rest of you are grabbing Techno G.
Yep.
Are you doing anything else in his apartment?
Just
I'll
grabbing
try to
his
find
deck.
anything valuable that's not covered in poop and scoop it up.
Okay. You find his go bag. You have no idea what's in it, but it's the only thing in here that looks like it's personal. So you grab his go bag.
Sure.
Okay, 11, I'm sure makes it.
Yes, a 5
Or
for
5,
the
okay.
spell check, and then 11 against his ego.
Okay, so he would have an ego of an 11.
So therefore, I will definitely succeed because
Okay.
my ego's a 13. So.
And so what is the effect? What can you do?
So then I roll my dice, which I need to just start making a macro for. All right, 21.
Wow,
So
21.
I don't have mind control, but I can do pretty much anything. I can read and send into the unconscious and value-based thinking alter memories.
Okay, so you're getting a couple of things off the surface thought. He's trying to make a big enough ruckus because he's figuring people will leave and he can go in and loot the place before the cops' response will be here because response time is horrible.
Mhm.
That's what he's thinking. So what do you do?
So I will project into his mind the idea of that. I will project into his mind that I see you and you are seen. Do not do this. And I will do the reverberating, do Luke, I am your father voice.
Okay. Yeah, so you beat his ego. So he thinks better of what he's doing. And he starts shouting. He stops shouting. Some people a few blocks away are still, making a noise, but immediately in the area, no one is. You have gotten Techno G wrapped up in his crap-stained bedclothes. Kaylee's grabbed his go bag.
Yep.
What now?
Now, gentlemen, perhaps I will search use detective work to search the area for anything obviously illegal that needs to disappear from the scene as well. Because I have called the authorities here.
I mean, there's some of the green goo on the bed, but there's nothing really illegal around.
Okay, yeah, I just didn't know whether or not he had like a crack pipe here or something like that. Even it's one of
Technology might be the kind to indulge in old school recreationals. It's possible.
Yeah,
but
given
no.
it's one of Ivan's friends, and Ivan's an out and out sociopath. Maybe there's a body. I don't know.
He's friends with at least one junkie. Yeah.
Yeah, these people are absolutely insane.
Okay, so you guys hit the ground. You don't even hear sirens yet because, again, you're not in a great part of the city. Response time is going to be slack at best.
Lord Ivan, I do not feel good about leaving this apartment free and open for looting with a toxic poison that might be transmissible.
We're outside now, aren't we?
Yes.
Listen, I totally understand that, and I get your apprehension.
Burn the evidence.
I turn around and I cast fireball.
Yeah. Now there really is a fire. I'm not going to make you roll for that. Yes, the whole thing goes up like a kindling stack because it is condemned and hasn't been taken care of. So yes, the building really is on fire now as the last remaining junkies kind of find their way out of the building.
There, problem solved. Now let's get Techno to the hospital. Or do you want me to incinerate anyone else before we go?
I mean, are there any junkies? Are there any with an awareness scan, or is there anyone passed out that I need to go rescue?
No.
Okay.
There were very few people living there, and
That's
they
good.
made
You
their way
didn't
out.
find anyone because I saw you scanning for survivors, and I was readying the next fireball.
Witness.
So, yes, as a question,
I'm putting Techno G in the trunk. Because one, he's got poison, and two, he's got poop.
Yes, can we at least take him to a?
You're not getting your deposit back.
a simple a underground doctor rather than a public one.
Interestingly enough, they've never made a contact with an underground doctor, an underground veterinarian.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We did.
Lady Kaylee, you are someone who can produce things on the internet on these shadow websites. I'm sure they have a Shadowrun doctor here.
that's a good point. And I'll cross-reference the map that I took, or is the no, I'll just check out for local areas as close an area as I can possibly get, like a 10 mile radius.
Make a luck check, high or low.
Yeah, right. Hi.
What'd you get?
Oh, sorry. Should I? You were gonna roll.
Yeah, no. Just roll. Yeah, you roll it D100, and you chose high.
Yeah.
The closest thing around is a cyber doc. It's someone who specializes in basically removing cyberware from dead bodies so that it can be resold and reattached to someone else. Not the best for someone in that. Yeah, so nothing close. That's the closest thing.
Yeah, there's a scavenger for parts nearby, but that's we might want to go to a real doctor.
Yeah,
Ivan, you're driving, so where are you going?
I'm going to the hospital.
Okay. Is this just going to be a dump? You're just going to roll them on the pavement outside of the hospital?
We just park the
We
car out in
always
front of
do
the
it.
place, pop the trunk, and then cast invisibility. Walk away.
Yeah, I mean, how do you do this?
I pull up into the the ambulance lane.
Mm-hmm.
I hoist him out and set him right in front of the doors, and I'll call out, "Hey, this is an emergency. This man here has been covered in toxic chemicals and is dying. He's also filthy rich. You should help him now." And I'll just put, a healthy amount of creds on a chip and just set it on his forehead.
You just grab one of your burner chips that's got, a few 100,000 creds or something on it and just drop it. Then you squeal tires and you're out of there.
Yeah.
So you get back to the bowling alley, you call the rental place, they come and they get the car, and yes, you lose your deposit because there's stuff all over the trunk, but good enough. And as you're sitting at the table, rehashing what's possibly gone on, Kaylee, you have his deck.
Mm-hmm.
You have the 3 chips worth of information on it. You have what he told you. You have no idea what's going on. Starting with Masu, high or low, and then roll me a D100.
Muted.
Maybe muted. Come back to us, Nick.
So, Lord Ivan, given your penchant for burning and incineration, surely just burning the car is the better solution rather than infecting whatever poor sack they have clean this car out.
Give me
Are you going to be a wet blanket the entire time we're doing this work?
I just don't like murdering innocent people.
What happened to the Masu who showed up? Like, oh, I get to kill and punch people. Oh, it's so exciting. And then we're out here killing and punching people, and you're like, no, don't do it.
Killing guilty people. The guilty is part of it. I go out and regularly kill people on my off time.
To be fair, Masu, the area of town you are in, they're probably all guilty of something. But make me a D100 roll and tell me high or low before you make the roll.
Low.
Okay.
Yeah, baby.
Okay. And while you are talking to Ivan, you do the same. D100 roll, high or low.
You want high or low, Ivan?
Hang on, my dogs are barking. What was the question again?
Luck check. High or low, roll the D100.
We're going to go high because I just burnt down a junkie's apartment building.
It's fair.
No, I got a low.
Okay. And Kaylee, also, luck check, please.
Kaylee's a junkie herself, so high. Nope.
This is
All right.
what I get for being
So, Masu, as
person.
you're sitting across the table of the bowling alleys discussing the day's work with Ivan and Kaylee, you can't help but notice that Ivan's normal pale ivory skin looks like he's got a sunburn.
Lord
And
Ivan.
Kaylee is looking a little peaked as well. Her normal ghoulish skin has a tinge of red.
Lord Ivan, Lady Kaylee. Not that this could happen to this couldn't have happened to better people, but you do appear to have been poisoned by this insidious chemical.
Well, yeah, no shit. I thought we'd already established we were all fucked.
I don't feel bad, shockingly.
Yet.
So, do you wish to proceed forth with going to see a doctor, or shall I seek to do what I can?
We got to hunt these people down and find out what it is so we can actually get cured. Just slapping a Band-Aid on the giant gaping, chest wound isn't going to do anything. I mean, you got to go find the source and dig the bullet out and other medical jargon examples.
I have no
came
doubt.
from Hawkshorn Chemical, so
Kaylee, are you saying this as you're looking through TechnoG's laptop?
yeah.
All right, he actually did. There's a file there on what it possibly is. He found a news story that dates back to 2048. Remember, this is 2057. That Hawthorne Chemical Manufacturing created a substance that was banned in 2048 due to a class action lawsuit brought on by Arthur Vogel on behalf of several victims of toxic exposure. It seems to affect people that have undergone expression. So basically everyone but humans.
Oh, man.
Also, as we started tonight's session, I was talking about all the news flashes that were going on. Arthur Vogel is a presidential hopeful.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So that seems like a good place to end it.
Mhm.
Yeah, you've been exposed to a toxin that apparently has poisonous effects on those that have undergone expression. So your elves, orcs, trolls, etc.
Which is
Yeah.
weird because Vogel is himself a dwarf.
Mhm. Well, Vogel brought the class action lawsuit against
Oh,
Hawkshorn
okay.
Chemicals. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep. He was a lawyer back then. It was on behalf of several victims of toxic exposure to this chemical. It got the Hawkshorn chemical manufacturing shut down.
Cool.
They went out of business. All right. Yeah. So there we go. We will end the session there for the night. Hopefully we'll pick up the rest of our players next time. But Chuck, what do you got going on?
Oh my gosh. Defenders of Cobalt, twitch.tv/Defenders of Cobalt. If you come by on Thursday, we'll go back to Wednesday. If you come by on Wednesday, we're going to be running a little Fallout 2D20 Modiphius system. You can catch Bert over there hanging out with me. And we're just going to run it for a few weeks until we, just Thunder Rift ended in a mass ascension to godhood. Thursday, we're going to be doing some Curse of Strahd. Friday, we're going to be starting up a new campaign in the game system that Joe is making called Anvia. And then next Saturday, or this coming Saturday at 1 p.m. over on Grim and Perilous Plays, we're also going to be starting up some Fallout there as well. And then I'll let you touch on what we got going on Saturday night.
Yeah, sounds good. So if you found us, you know where we are, twitch.tv/Steam, Steal, and Murder. Although tonight I am also live streaming to YouTube as well. Saves me one less step in the process. But coming up this coming Tuesday, we got first edition Dungeons and Dragons, playing through the Desert of Desolation series. We're on the second module of that series, Oasis of the White Palm now. Friday, BX Dungeons and Dragons, playing in the Mystara universe. This Saturday will be Goodman Games official. We are playing Weird Frontiers with some of the gang from here. Both Chuck and Jake will be in on that game. And next Sunday will be Boot Hill, third edition. So we got a lot going on. So, Jake, you're part of the Kobolds, but did you have anything else there?
Yes, considering how crappy some elements of this particular session were, I do have a message from our sponsor. You ever have to fart somewhere like an elevator, a wedding, or a beauty pageant stage? Well, salvation's on its way from the makers of Chemicor Walk-In Farts. Now you can let your flatulence fly without fear of social stigma with the all-new Spray Shark. This fecal-colored spray can stain even the thickest of pants, giving the illusion that not only did someone else fart, but that they really should have saved it for the bathroom. Any smell that others experience, including your own, is guaranteed to be blamed on your successful diversion. And that's the magic of Spray Shark. From Chemicor.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Very nice. And Nick is a mystery man on the nets. I don't believe he is anywhere else out there. Thus, the wonderful picture we have of him. Yes,
indeed. I have nothing. I am hidden. I cast conceal.
All right, guys. Wave good night to everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for playing, guys.
Good night.